Hey y'all, welcome to the Clock Tower. I'm Colton, here with Brandon, talking about Mushoku Tensei rares and double rares on 5 cards, 5 minutes. Brandon, what's our first card?
First up, we have things that can give you Roxy. When a climax is placed on stage, you can choose one of your other characters and give that twin drive, so pay one and be able to then trigger twice. It's also a pay one rest self salvage brainstormer. All around, it's a really helpful brainstormer that can really benefit any deck.
Yeah, good on Bushiroad making Brainstormers better by giving them better secondary abilities. I know we talked about that before, but I think this might be one of the best 4-card Brainstormers that they've ever printed. Being able to pay out a climax after you've triggered it is really good. Being able to potentially trigger standby in additional time is even better. You give the twin drive to the thing you're going to swing with second or third. If you trigger on your first or second swing, you immediately pay it out. Excellent profile, really useful in this list. Let's talk about some level 3 combos. Warm Gaze Roxy is a 3-2 at 9,000 power, gains 2,000 on your turn, on play heal, and at the end of this card's attack, it combos with the pants. If you have another 6-sided world character, you can choose one of the following 2 effects. You can either burn 1 for free, or you can pitch 2 to deal 3. This is pretty good. It doesn't have the same utility as some top ends that we've seen. It does have modular burn, which is really nice. Basically, this card is one of those kind of vanilla burn 1 combos that we saw back in the old days with one of the abilities from the Kurumi, which is that pitch 2 burn 3.
Yeah, I think that's some of the big things, that it has that heal on play and it has the ability to fluctuate depending on what your needs are. You can do small damage if you need to stick small damage, or you can do large damage if you need to catch up. It does require quite a bit of hand size if you're going to try to burn 3 in every lane. However, when you pair it with the 1-0 event that you're probably going to be running with this, that can help potentially get you those additional cards into hand that you might need. Next up, we have Warrior of the Spurred Race Ruijerd. When this card is placed on stage, you subtract power from your opponent's characters equal to their level times 1,000. And that is for all areas of their stage, so even their back row is included in that. With the Climax combo, on attack, if Bar is in your Climax area, you can look at the top 2 cards of your opponent's deck. You can send any number of them into the waiting room and put the rest of them back on top. Then you can also then look at your own deck and keep cards there or put them into waiting room, and then you can swing for your attack. It has a change effect to be able to get this at level 2. So you could bring this in at 2, subtract power, try to use that Mocha idea to be able to deal damage early, regardless of whatever compression they may have.
Yeah, this is potentially really useful into a standby matchup. If you get 3 of these down, you can basically just nuke your opponent's entire board, 9,000 power. Back row pieces that grant hexproof, back row pieces that grant power, those are all gone. This is one of those challenging combos where you need to hit all 3 of your swings in order to close. Next, Ghislaine, 3-2, 9,000 power. During your turn, if you have 4 or more other 6-sided world characters, this gains 5,000 power, and your opponent cannot play events or backups from their hand. On play heal, and on attack pay 2, deal 2 on standby. This is obviously the top end for the 8 standby list. The top end part is fine. Pay 2, deal 2 is pretty standard. Giving itself all that power, that's all very strong, especially given how much other power there is in MTI's standby package.
Being able to essentially make the end game non-interactable, they can't have any counters come into play, like the tap counter that Mushoku Tensei has, or like Leafa counters to try to fish for cancels, or refresh counters. You're not going to be able to play that when facing off against this, so you really need to be keeping an eye on your compression. Last up, we have the 3-2 Roxy. On play, you can draw 2, ditch 1, and when your triggers a climax, you can choose one of your characters, give it 1,000 power, and twin drive. Again, pay 1, trigger twice. So when you trigger a climax, you can then immediately give another character twin drive to pay out said climax.
Yeah, it gives 2,000 power to everything in front of it. This is probably your standby target when you play the level 3 standby combo. Pushes your level 3 Ghislaine's up to 16,000 power. Nobody can really touch that on board. It also grants the twin drive, same way that the Brainstormer does. It'll show up in other builds for sure. This is going to be particularly strong in 8 standby. And that's it. Thank you so much for joining us. We will be back on Tuesday. Brandon will have a Deck Tech 4 post-ban list DAO gameplay next Thursday. The following Tuesday, another Clock Talk, and in 2 weeks, Uncommons and Commons for Mushoku Tensei. Until next time, thank you so much for joining us. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe, and have a good one.
We'll see you then.